So life is not cuboid, square, rectangle. Life is circular, not the closed one in which we repeat our patterns and loops. So science behind the spiral wattle channel at Nilkanth Mahadev temple. What looks like a simple, beautiful spiral is actually applied physics, hydrology, acoustic engineering, encoded into stone centuries ago. The shape with its counterclockwise versus clockwise pattern mimics the flow of electromagnetism, the torus field. Now here are 2 points. Our clock thing just goes clockwise. So we're missing the counterclockwise. And that's just because I live in a home where, except me, everyone is obsessed with clock in every room. And I am like, it ticks me off. And I always, in my room, I take off the clock from the wall and take out its cell. It's just this constant irritation with this tick. Well, second question, they tell us electromagnetism, but we know the womb, the life is from feminine, the portal. So should it be magneto-electric or magneto-electro? Is there a difference between when you put electric first and magnetic second, like first come Adam and then Eve, versus when you put first feminine and then masculine, magnetic first and then electro? Just a question. The torus field, Santos, coating hair, 3 words, all words came out of that. Atom, which is also Adam, A-D-M. Second word is Tor, T-O-R. Third word is B-U-L. So torus field, Taurus and bull, the red and blue shift. It's the perfect example of biomimicry at play. As Victor Squabanger famously said, comprehend and copy the nature. Let's dive deeper into the spiral and how this is genius. As water curves inward, it creates micro vortices along the walls. These vortices entrain air. Now remember the 5 elements, 4 elements coming out of ether. So one, air, another is already water, now air getting into water. So what is going on there? Simple. Naturally oxygenating the water, air in the water. Humans need oxygen. So where is this clockwise, interclock, and anti-clockwise within our body, within our temple? Where is this air and water mixing inside our body, externally, internally? Why do we feel good when we are nature in water, near water body, near green, the forest? Why does these things soothe us? And then you will also look at here would be the harmony, the sukoon, the Urdu word is sukoon. Like there's no rush, taking its own time. I get irritated when somebody push and rush. Everybody has its own timings. So, oxygenated water resists stagnation. The dam water, the stagnant water, versus the freely flowing water in nature. And microbial imbalance. Is this something that's happening inside our body? We are the microcosm of and the macrocosm. So, this is the same reason whirlpools, mountain streams, vortex fountains are considered living water. What's happening in there? I guess it's the molecular, when you go into the deep structure, the water structure changes. Makes sense? Nature uses this exact principle in vortices, shells, galaxies, blood flow. The Fibonacci sequence, the geometry, the pattern, the structure. Modern systems prioritize the speed, rush, pressure, extraction, while ancient systems prioritize harmony, efficiency, longevity, requiring zero input. Regenerative engineering at its finest. This is also the exact coil design used for SBB coils in orgonite to harmonize chaotic energies. The further you look back, the more obvious it is to see how far we have fallen from the grace. I would say it's about time we remember and begin to reimagine a world where applied science meets internal gnosis. And then he quotes this page, Snapchat 7, Bharatan born Indian, rich history, heritage, greater blessing, diversified moments. It's not a coincidence they divided the India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. So, pretty intriguing structures. Totally a coincidence, right? No chances. Well, going back, now let's look at the video. This is the 15th century spiral water channel, an ancient water harvesting channel carved in stone. The water comes from natural springs, falls on a Shiva lingam inside sanctum, then flows to the outside tank and flows through this shell-shaped water channel to underground towards the valley below. Centuries ago, our ancestors had excellent water harvesting methods. This is Nikant Mahadev Temple of Mandav, Madhya Pradesh. Okay, this was one video. There was another. Let me just insert these links. So if somebody further wants to study it, you can watch it, connect the dots on your own, or whatever you want to do. Yeah. Another one was I came across this one. It overlaps with Terra Infinita book, Claudio Nocelli. Something was placed around this planet before you ever arrived here, not to protect you but to slow you down. An electrical field inside a magnetic field, turning brilliance into forgetfulness. In Quran, we quote in Islamic narration, Alastu bi rabbikum. So we promised with God, which we don't remember. So like when you take the soul, so you forget and then you start your journey from zero. I don't know. I'm just connecting all that. So brilliance into forgetfulness. I'm connecting all this Alastu bi rabbikum and the soul thing. And when we enter into this 3D forgetfulness, okay, awareness into survival, okay, from higher dimension to lower, For example, we are currently stuck in our lowest reach across the the lowest earth one, the red one, survival, upper one, the sex one, just the materialistic one. And so it's red, then orange, and then the yellow one, food, eat, eat, eat. Our gut instinct is multiplied by zero. It's really crucial. Gut instinct. Our intestines, full of crap, full, loaded. We have no idea of using enzymes or clearing according to the seasons, clearing our inner self. So, in short, what are we feeling? Exhaustion, confusion, heaviness. It's random? No, it's not. Most never spark who they truly are because they were never told what they were living inside of. So, listen carefully. It is a mythology. So, he is saying about the electric. This planet has a field in, obvious. Everything is living, everything is vibrating, and all around, and that wasn't meant to help you. So, just like if we take that hypothesis, Earth is flat and it is surrounded by the so called high ice walls made by controllers, custodians, Anunnakis, or whatever they are. So we live in a grid, and that first ice wall, a barrier, like the Earth is ant here, Earth ants here. No more civilization, we the humans alone, stupid knave, and you can't rise if you don't know what's holding you down. Depends on people don't become who they were meant to be because the electromagnetic field was purposely placed to block the rays and waves of consciousness, stopping them from gaining higher consciousness to become and evolve into their life purpose and mission here on Earth. It sucks cause even people who are well off are still lost and don't know why they're here and will soon reincarnate, forget, then start over again through the struggle, hustle culture, not ever remembering themselves. I truly hate that for us so bad. It's more to life that bills paid, food on the table, children taken care of, husband, wife, happiness. Please remember and put back together your parts. Okay, so you can listen to it if you are into this. Just let me copy its link. Uh-oh. This one. Come on. And the last one. Because I am a visualized learner, it helps me if I do that. So, going through this, what do you think? Our evolution isn't just physical, it's perceptual. We will learn to see differently is about moving from the idea of a vision being just from the retina into an integrated vision of mind, body, spirit, and light. Mind, mental, air, body, earth, spirit, fire, and what's left? Water and light. Light is the biggest factor of this evolution, which is why the transformative actions of sun are so important. Think about a photon, the smallest unit of light, which happens to be shaped like an eye. Okay. When rotated, the photon has wave particle duality. It responds to being seen. That means light is directly connected to the perception. Crop circles, which are highly connected to the light, manifest as eyes. Some of the most significant ones have been eye shaped. The ancient Egyptians were fully aware of the connection between a transformative DNA light, star light of the sun, and the eye, the symbols for the eye of Ra and Horus encoded this awareness. This is also about optimizing our mitochondrial health. Yeah, that's why I wanted to share that. The mitochondria grabbed my attention. Mitochondrial health with longer wavelengths of sunlight, mitochondria is highly abundant in the retina of eye and pineal gland, third eye. So, rise in consciousness is dependent on healthy light. So, we are not supposed to be in these artificial lights we are supposed to be. 85% of body is made designed for outside, the way our ancestors used to work in fields, crops, near tree. They would just wake with sun, wake with birds, and then sleep with Maghrib time or once the sun sets in, the circadian rhythm. So healthy light. How can we spend more and more time in healthy life? Light. When we learn to truly see, it changes our entire reality because our perception creates our reality. Hmm, that's cute. The rise of consciousness is dependent on healthy light. When we learn to truly see, it changes our entire reality because our perception creates our reality. Okay, enough of the comments. I like the way she did. Eye of Ra, and then when you mirror this, but here the lens is blank, it's filled with black color in Eye of Ra and Eye of Horus. Is this? And then these crop structures, this are photon. So Egyptians knew. Quantum leap. Scientists reveal shape of a single photon for the first time, smallest unit of light. The photon responds to being seen, meaning light is directly connected to perception. Wave particle duality, wave like, wave and particle. Wave like, and here the particle. Expression of light, eye shape of the photon, eye shaped crop circles. Rectus medialis when, so the eye, our eye, then the earth, as above, so below. How the eye is developed, see here now, the eye in itself is the key. So this thing, this upper one, if there is the firmament, the rainbow shape, so this thing, and now this, heaven of heaven, God. Iris root, scalar, scleral spur, anterior chamber, cornea, lens, angle recess. A new perception is developing. Pineal gland, okay, thalamus, hypothalamus, midbrain, corpus callosum. Remember that colostrum? Santa Claus, thalamus, the link cerebellum, bull. Remember the Aries and Taurus in head. So starting of the spring equinox. So cerebellum, where is cerebral? Cerebrum. So point here is the proportion, the corpus callosum, brain structure in symbol, And then this thalamus, this eye-shaped in symbol, and then this hypothalamus here, straight 90 angle almost, and then this curved line, this medulla oblongata. And this is Eye of Ra. 3,500 years ago, Egyptians already knew about this third eye, thalamus, third eye. Okay. Longer waves of sunlight can help optimize mitochondrial health. Mitochondria is abundant in the retina, your eye's retina. The pineal gland, third eye, is another one of the most mitochondrial rich places in the body and needs sunlight. So the chemtrails, that's why one of the many things why blocking the sunlight. Particles and solar codes interact with Earth and the human body, creating transformation. The sun, the earth, the body. When we learn to truly see, it changes our entire reality because our perception creates our reality. Our perception. Hmm. Yeah. Sun is conscious and it's communicating. Sun is a projector of reality in the holographic universe. That was the reason why I am making it today. I'm not saying that God is electricity, but what I am saying to you is God takes that word because only through this sphere and the ether of this energy akasha, ether or space. Ether of this energy called electricity. Is it possible for the human psyche and that which is the universal psyche to communicate? It's done through electricity. So from that video, first he is talking about Al. He's breaking, according to my understanding, the Al and the R. So it's breaking it Al, Elohim, Archangel, at the end Al, then Jibrail or Gabriel, Islamic ones, and the English ones or Christian ones, Mikael, Michael, again El, Israfil, Israfil, only I and E difference, and Israel, the angel of death, and Israel. So when I was writing Israel, so another connection is Ra L, Isis, Ra, and L. Then Arch of the convenient, and then arc, what's arch doing in architecture? And then now take electrical, L at the first, and the arch, electrical arch, plasma. So Bill Donohue, if you're not familiar with him, his classic works, Hidden Meanings, explains that biblical temple language maps directly onto anatomy with the body or the temple, meaning the body. Biblical temple language maps directly onto anatomy with the temple, meaning the body, and the holy place or holy of the holies, meaning the brain. Then I was searching for this hidden meanings, and it's about teachings of the Bible, deeper understandings beyond and literal interpretation, suggests that the Bible is not just a record of history, but a map of consciousness, guiding readers on a spiritual journey. The book invites readers to explore hidden meanings of those biblical events, like crucifixion, resurrection, inner events, Exodus as the soul's escape from the bondage, like our contracts bondage, servants of the corporation. It also presents revelation as the unveiling of one's true self. The book is not a dogma, but an invitation to enter inner sanctuary, where the second coming is not awaited, but realized, and the kingdom lies within. We are the coming. Only the high priest entering the Holy of Holies symbolized conscious awareness. entering the highest center of the mind. So Bill showed us that Bible is not literal history book, but a symbolic guide, symbolic symbolism to awaken the higher consciousness through meditation. Your posture, your spinal cord straight, your chin tucked in, meditation, silencing that inner voice, symbolism. Inner exploration helps us see the kingdom of God is within. No one else is going to come. You have to do it on your own. One of his most consistent teachings was the unconsciousness or ignorance. So that is when we are ignorant. In the age of information, ignorance is a choice. And resurrection was the awakening of the mind, not like our we die a physical body and then we live again that physical body, No, nothing like that. Awakening, like dying in this life and awakening. That materialism, that attachments die, and you come to realize the illusion is not the reality. God is the reality. This world is the illusion. When scriptures speak of rising from the dead, the Bill thought it refers to the mental and spiritual awakening, not a physical reanimation. While he avoided modern jargon terms, but clearly associated eye that sees, eye that sees, lamp of the body, with inner perception center in the brain. Also in near video. So the pineal, modern people say, modern science call it pineal. Ancient used to call it metricon. All talking about the same thing, just the language difference. What is the lamp of the body? And then in Hindus, so they in the between two eyebrows, this bindi, they do this. I guess it's also the symbolism. And then this is a long short. I'm still figuring it out because when I was reading this post, it just clicked to me because it's the same words in the same ayah in the Quran chapter. So in Quran, there is a surah, or you can call chapter 24, Surah Nur. And then the ayat number, the famous one, is the 35. And things just click, and I'm still trying to make sense of it, but here I go. So the resurrection of Jesus was, the awakening of spirituality. And the same thing with the spinal cord and then our brain, that CSF, the cerebral spinal fluid. Well, so the key words in this ayah is, I'm not taking the whole ayah because then there are a lot. Nur, the light, samawat, heaven, Allah, earth. It just seems EARTH, earth, you know. So example, and so yeah. So what I am picking up the words that when I was reading this post and clicked me with this ayah, mispa, the lamp, zujaja, glass, then there is kokab, star, shajara, the tree, and the zaytunatin or zuituha, that olive. They're typically discussing the olive. And then the oil. Okay, tea time. Okay. I guess I should I share its topics? Let me uh, uh, uh okay. This I will show you at the end. I thought it was a book, Hidden Meanings, but it seems like a curriculum, and the books are really interesting. المصباح في زجاجة الزجاجة كأنها كوكب يوقد من شجرة مباركة يوقد من شجرة مباركة زيتونة لا شرقية ولا غربية. So the light, when you read the Bible, you know, it was a word, something like that. So when you look at the languages, all languages have something common foundation, and that is sound. The sound, the vowel sound, the a, e, u. It's also in Arabic, alif zabar a, alif zer e, and alif pesh u. So a, the e, and the oo, the o. I think it's common in all languages, the vowels. And then there are different sounds from the vowels when you know, pronounce it or do it like an om, exaggerated. So the light, the heavens, the earth, again, the light. I really don't like the bracket stuff, like they are inserting when you read the translation. So if you want to read it, just remove the brackets. Let the reader make its own meaning. Instead, whoever wrote the translation is, asking you to just think one dimensionally, one way. That's not the way. That's why I don't like Quran translation. And there is much more work in Bible. You'll see those books, and then you'll know. So Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. The example of his light is like a niche, kamishkawatin, like a niche within which is a lamp. The lamp is within glass. Now there is three things. Niche, inside the niche is the lamp, and then lamp is also within the glass. So niche, lamp, glass. Okay. So and the glass as if it were a purely starlit, so star, from a blessed olive tree, again tree of life and tree of knowledge, okay? Neither of the east nor of the west. So when the tree comes after the new Sharmas, so exploring that perspective and other perspectives of Kabbalah Gnosis, so tree gives me that nervous system you know, nervous system. And Northwest, who's again oil, the oil. We humans have four sacred fluids inside us, the saliva. So when you kiss, you are exchanging a lot of things, invisible things inside you, both people. Number two, the blood. I don't think so. It's that simple donation of blood, just like checking your lineage. From where I belong. It's not that simple. So, saliva, blood. Third is the sexual fluids. The second, the second most lower chakra, the water. And the fourth is CSF. So you gotta be really careful when you exchange the sexual fluid and the saliva and the blood and the CSF. I don't know if you can share or not. So, and the last one, the fire, whose oil would almost glow even if untouched by fire. وَلَوْ لَمْ تَمَسَّسْهُ نَارٌ. Okay. Light upon light. And light is photons or what? Okay, let's go back to this. Sorry. Uh, First point here, I don't think so. Allah is a verb. Sorry, Allah is not a noun. You know, I think Allah is a verb. And there are many names of Allah. Okay. And second, this is a tricky one, but now I get all those saints on, we used to call them in our stories, in Punjabi stories, or many ancient stories, like those were mad people, like I am the God. But now I get it, not in a clear sense, but still I get it. We are gods. We have inside us the Saturn and the God. We have this duality polarity inside us. We have the masculine energy and we have the feminine energy. We have the Ida and Pingla, and then we have the spinal cord. The three. The Jachin and Bose column, and the third one, the balance. We are the gods. We just don't know. There is something inside us, the sense, the core, the soul that is from that when you die, it's taken away. That's, link with this thread Just like when you come out of your mother's womb, so there is this umbilical cord, yes, that link you to the placenta. Another day story. So again, our physical body is there's this invisible thread with our soul or with that invisible thing. When the physical body die, it separates, that thread breaks or cuts. So we have something we can awaken, we can, what is that? And I think they don't want us to know that we are gods. We have the power. It's just we are being stuck in certain belief systems, in lowest energies, frequencies, vibrations. We are stuck suffering, fear, money, job. It's just a loop. Now, the words that I picked up from the ayah, the niche. What is that niche? I'm still trying to make sense, so don't take, especially this slide, like I can be totally wrong. But there's niche, then there is lamp, and then there is glass. So if niche is a body, and then lamp is the pineal gland, then that lamp is within glass, and that pineal is within brain. So, what is the commonality between light and sound? Everything vibrates. It's waves. Waves are visible and invisible. Sun has many kind of lights. There is light that is visible, and that there are infrared and ultraviolet that are not visible, that are invisible. But still our psychic body and our soul body needs it. And just the way light penetrates the glass, remember the prism experiment? Waves can penetrate the brain as well. So influence, we are being influenced. We have no idea. Our thoughts, emotions, vibrations are not ours. Sorry, thoughts, emotions, and feelings. It's others. People come to you. You need to use the discernment there, because there's always this balance. If you have more energy and the other one has less energy, they're going to absorb yours. So lamp within glass, one could be like glass's brain, another could be glass as if it were pearly starlit, star को कप glass उजाजा. So we have the capability that, using that lamp, open the pineal, the third eye, the bindi in Hinduism, and the glass as if it were. Is it awakening? Is it consciousness, being conscious? Is it becoming aware? And then pearly starlit, the star. So it's the realities, the bright moving between the realities, whether it's psychologically, creatively, or spiritually. Lit bright. So there is this duality, polarity. The darkness, illusion ends, and awakening, and this is the brightness. And blessed olive tree. Is it the tree of life or tree of knowledge? Is it our nervous system? Because everything is going back to our nervous system. And then oil, that is CSF. So one of the four sacred liquids. That's where mine is right now. Coming back to the post, he emphasized that the true seeing is internal, not sensory. We are stuck in external. Imran Khan will come and this will fix. No. We will do that ihtijaj. It will do nothing. It's just an illusion. Imam Mahdi will come, everything will be solved. No, you need to see the illusion. We Muslims are lacking in action, in the true education, knowing yourself. And we are like, I will spend this life pathetically doing nothing because I am a coward. And Allah will reward me in the next life because the so-called Qiyamah and the judgment concept. You don't have future, you don't have past. All you have is the present. So the bill thought that the repeated references to oil, whether it's anointing the oil, the holy oil, the lamp oil, symbolize cerebrospinal fluid, CSF, which circulates through the brain and the spinal column to your bottom coccyx, and nourishing and protecting the nervous system, just like a tree, the nervous system. To be anointed meant the system was functioning correctly, not that someone was chosen by an external authority, the hierarchy, the institution, the corporation, the masculine, you know, Adam first, Eve next from the ribs. Are you kidding me? Then these were some comments on that post, and it made sense to me. God is the center of the, I would like make it like magneto electrovortex, the solenoid. So there are two kind of movements. There is straight movement as well as there is a spiral movement too. Can you see that? So the center of seed of life. This vortex is in every living thing on earth and also in other non-living material, even within us. Your vortex emanates from your heart. Your heart is not a pump. Read Rudolf Steiner. And yes, it is electricity. God is pure energy, and this energy is intelligent. If it wasn't, it wouldn't give life. The moment an egg is fertilized with a seed, it sparks from the start of the magneto-electrovortex. God. And again, I heard on this thing, I haven't read much on it, but it's intriguing. It needs further research. Like the God, G standing for generator, operator, and destroyer of everything manifested and manifested. And if we all are gods, because there is this Satan and God power within us, so we have this power of manifestation versus, destruction. Make sense? Electricity in math is the language of God. Emotion is the language of universe. So mathematics, this connection is language of. And this is a screenshot from the video of Viking Wizard 11 because I am now pretty sure these 90 angle walls, this cubism, this cube rectangle cities are full of this crap. It's not just a coincidence. So again, the L electricity, harvesting human energy. Because when you look at the Tartarian buildings, there were always arches with pointed, even their roofs, their roofs, their ceilings, their doorways, their portals, their doors. They are not square and rectangle, they are beautiful in their own way. The color, the beauty, the proportions, and we, in a grid, like we have been taught in architecture, really like Greek planner or something came and he designed the 90 angle, 90 straight paths, planning in Islamabad, the new capital after Karachi. So now I get it. It's all a crap. The inorganic streets when you go into the walled city, that was natural, that was organic versus this crap. Let's make a grid to extract spiritual energy from humans. Tell the engineers this design has a higher ROI. And then this another comment without build the code. So this masculinity, nothing against the masculinity, though we all on both sides are wounded masculine and wounded feminine, but this patriarchism, this invertism. Mother Nature is whole, inverted. So our so-called New Year is January, which is the middle of the winter. December, January, February, and it is the kind of month of death. So it starts with goat, Capricorn. Just a point. And then this thing, when you look at Chinese calendar, Hebrew calendar, ancient calendars, so this Aries, March, April, and then this bull. So it's March, April, it's April, May. And then it's horns, which makes Aries sign. And then the Taurus. There are many signs, the way their signs are made. You can go on YouTube and he really do a good stories on this, like the symbolism of science, evolution, symbolic studies on YouTube, his stories. So the point here is Cerebrum, the ram, and Cerebellum, the bull. So both are starting in head. The starting of spring equinox, Aries and Taurus, it's the head. Anything else? Oh yeah. So then I just commented, and this link came from that lovely lady. So Hidden Meanings is a reading curriculum. I couldn't download it on Script, so I just took its screenshots. 21 core books, 4 optional editions: Inner Christ Awakening, Symbolic Bible, and Cosmic Union. Stage 1 is awakening the inner Christ, realizing the kingdom within through awareness and imagination. Like, seriously, our education is you. Why haven't we read this? Like, why haven't we studied this way? Starting from day one, from our inner self, knowing ourselves instead with chaos. You can't ask question. You can, going totally against our nature. We don't even explore ourselves. Like even before 3, even the child is not 3 years old, and he's inserted forcefully, proudly by parents. Go to the school, stupid school, and programming and indoctrination. So the power of now. It shows salvation is a present moment state, not a future event, and calls this Christ consciousness, training attention to rest in the now, dissolves the ego, and reveals indwelling presence. Book 2, Feeling is the Secret, Neville Goddard, reveals that inner feeling, not outer action, is prayer in motion. Neville's method of creation through emotion mirrors Bill's. Imagination is the father principle. The third one, Power of Awareness, Neville Goddard, expands on consciousness as the true creator. You learn to identify with awareness itself, the I am behind the thought. And donohue living definition of the Christ within. The fourth book is the Neville's Collection. A full compendium of Neville's books, read sequentially. It becomes a self-contained Bible of mental creation. Everything is mental. Matching core teaching that scripture describes psychological law. What makes you think if Bible is written that way, Quran is not written that way? Just a question, especially to Muslims. Stage 1 was awakening the inner Christ. Stage 2 is body as the Bible. Awakening inner Christ, and now body as the Bible. Seeing human anatomy as divine architecture. The God man, the Word made flesh, interprets the body as living scripture, spinal, Jacob's ladder, and the sacred oil rises to illumination. Inner resurrection talks are rooted in the same physiology of spirit. The zodiac and souls of salvation, 12 tribes, 12 souls of the body to the zodiac, revealing cosmic order reflected in biochemistry. As above, so below. Third book, Occult Anatomy of Man, Manly P. Hall, maps each organ to a spiritual principle. The heart as the sun, Leo, the sun. The brain as the holy of holies. It literalizes the phrase, the temple not made with hands. Stage third after body is hermetic and cosmic science, understanding the laws that govern both matter and mind. Matter and mind are not separate. Same way this medicine, this biology has been separated from our invisible bodies, and this science is separated from metaphysics. It's not. These are interlinked. So these both are same books. It was just a cute one. The Science of the Soul and the Stars, Volume 1, and this is Volume 1 and 2. So this sign has nothing to do with Judaism. Snake is not a bad thing when you read into myths and symbology, what it's interpreting. But we have just said, say, snake, don't be like snake. So, this book, Light of Egypt, outlines Hermetic science of soul, evolution through the stars, the cosmic framework behind Bill's teachings on celestial symbolism and inner transformation. Kabbalion, the three initiates. Where's the writer's name, by the way? Summarizes seven universal laws: mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, gender. They are the metaphysical physics explanation of the divine order. Third book, Franz Pardon, Initiation into Hermetics, a discipline training in mastering the thought, your head, emotion, your heart, and elemental balance. Converts the donohue's conceptual renewal of mind into precise inner practice. Now, after the matter and mind, the four stages: gospel, hidden gospel, and biblical symbolism. Decoding through symbolism, mind, air, symbolism, third eye, you can say, and spiritual law. So, the gospel of Thomas, Gnostic wisdom of Jesus, center on self knowledge. When you know yourself, you will be known. It is the purest scriptural expression of inward Christ teaching. 12th book, Esoteric Reading of Biblical Symbolism. It's a symbolic grammar, numbers, colors, archetypes, and you learn the language behind this verse by verse decoding. Four Gospels, esoterically interpreted, 13th book, shows the Gospel as four initiations: birth, trial, transfiguration, illumination. Joseph Campbell talks about the same thing. So it's the inner journey from lower to higher, from lower chakras to higher chakras. 14th book, Bible mystery and Bible meaning. Scripture as the science of mind. Thought becomes form. Towards the writer's precision ground on his mysticism. So mysticism in rational law, teaching how consciousness creates reality. Then there is, okay, this is the optional book will come on next slide. 15, Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. Full lexicon translating every name, place in Bible into state of mind. It's the same symbolic system. Egypt is a lower mind. Jerusalem is the inner peace, making it the definitive reference for metaphysical interpretation. Yeah, so the optional book is this, Hidden Wisdom in the Holy Bible, Volume 1. It's a theosophical visionary layer, and the writer treats Genesis and Exodus as cosmic initiation drama. Perfect if you enjoy Donohue's more celestial and archetypal readings. This book, Esoteric Bible Dictionary by Anonymous, interesting name, older occult glossary typing biblical symbols to planetary and color correspondences. Keep it for historical curiosity, cross-reference. Dictionary supersedes in clarity and tone. So fifth stage after symbolism, mind, and spiritual law is metaphysical Christianity and mind science, inner Christ through spiritual law. So this book, Three Magic Words, tell us about metaphysical Christianity into realization. I am God. Transforms theology into experiential conviction and creative confidence. 17 book, Impersonal Life, written as divine speaking within Be Still and Know That I Am God, expresses the core insight that Christ is consciousness itself, a manual for surrendering the ego. We are stuck in material, ego, I want this, I want that, and we think after buying that or having that person, we will be done. No, there is always next thing. Ego cannot be satisfied. Uniting with the I am presence. Mystical Kabbalah maps the tree of life, the cosmic anatomy of consciousness, temple pattern. Parallel is descent of spirit into form and return to source. Famous Secret Teachings of Knowledge is Hall's Encyclopedia of World Mysteries. It supplies historical backbone of symbolism and shows that every sacred tradition expresses one divine pattern of awakening. I couldn't find this book. Optionals, The Secret Doctrine of the Bible. It's a unity pamphlet outlining early metaphysical concept, historically relevant, but largely absorbed into Banner's deeper realization. Sixth stage. Again, this is a course in miracles. It's about 6 stages. It's about cosmic union, modern synthesis, like it's mysticism plus modern science. And the course is in miracles, foundation for inner peace. It teaches about forgiveness as perception, correction, seeing beyond appearances, blossom here into full non-dual awareness of love and unity. Any non-reactive awareness? 21, the reality unveiled. Connect ancient mysticism with quantum science, confirming the theme that matter is condensed mind, matter plus mind completes the circle of science and spirit as one reality. How are you supposed to go through that? Move stage by stage. Please don't rush, don't pressure yourself, don't go, I have to read that much numbers. After each book, revisit the hidden meanings video. The insight will suddenly click. Keep the optional titles for deep dives and historical reference once the core sequence feels solid. By then, you will read scripture exactly as donohue teaches, not as ancient history, but as the living map of consciousness awakening to its own divinity. So the tree of life is hidden in your body and the living map of consciousness and soul.